Pleasant afternoon, investors. So we're here in front of you. Me and my team will discuss about the Investors Financial Management Business Analysis Report with our chosen company, which is Mainfreight. Next. So here is my team members. I would like to introduce them to you. First one is Miss Pawan Preet. And then here is Mr. Sushil, Mr. Fernando, and Pauline. So, yep, let's go.
Pauline, where are you?
Oh, in the middle. So here is our agenda in our discussion for this afternoon. So we are going to introduce what is our company all about, what are our services, how stable is our company, financial management of our company, DuPont model of Mainfreight, company's performance at the moment, reasons for improvement, impact of inflation and deflation for Mainfreight, trend analysis, financial forecasting and leverage, working capital and current assets, capital structure, and our recommendation as a group. So here, we're just going to make you say yes to our company for you guys to have investment to our company. So yep, here's Pawan, who's going to introduce the company.
Good afternoon, friends. I am discussing with you the introduction of the Mainfreight. Mainfreight, originally based in a New Zealand company. It was founded in 6th of March 1978 and one of the largest company in the country. Mainfreight is looking forward on providing their services in the next 100 years, though committing to their clients. That's why they will provide their high quality of services by delivering their cargoes on time, damage free, and without any problem and hassles. Mainfreight, they are providing 3PL logistics services which has a powerful supply chain management which mainly focus on procurement, distribution, warehousing, and transportation of goods and services. The services are used in the different industries like chemical industries, production, media, and entertainment. They are not just providing their services in New Zealand, but also as well as the another countries like Australia, Asia, Europe. And with 250 branches and 7,000 employees, they maintain their services and they maintain their and sustain their stability in all around the globe. The aim of the slogan which they follow, Mainfreight, is anything is possible. The aim of the Mainfreight is expanding their business and increase their companies in all around the world. For decades, the company is enjoying financial stability and it aims to continue the improving financing in future. Mainfreight apply new NZX corporate government's best practice code to aiming to protect the shareholders, to protect the interest of their shareholders, and to provide long-term bond with them. The Mainfreight committed the standard of behavior and anti-corruption competitive guidelines are adopted in Mainfreight. They are carefully monitored by the audit committee to manage their internal affairs and to manage the company and to social responsibility and to manage the social responsibility. Next one is.
Yep, so let's go on through with the financial management of Mainfreight. So here are the tables that we analyzed and we gathered from the financial annual report of Mainfreight, which is 2018 and 2017 to 2018. So when it comes to profitability ratios, it says here, as you can see, it is quite stable. Though there is a mild, slightly decrease when it comes to the profit margin of Mainfreight, 8% when it comes to 2 years, and then 1% decrease when it comes to the ROE of Mainfreight. This is because Mainfreight is not focusing on the on the increase of sales at the moment for the past few years. Why? Because we are currently focusing on expanding our infrastructure and business all around the world. So mainly this one, it's not focusing on annual report and performance of Mainfreight here in New Zealand, but this is all around the globe. So as you can see, our assets in this total asset is increasing as well, because we see that there's a risk because of the transportation cost of Mainfreight. We all know that there is no stable price when it comes to oil and stuff like that. So they see an opportunity to have an investment when it comes to the vehicles, like electric vehicles or something like that, that can decrease the transportation cost of Mainfreight, that decrease the usage of fuels or something like that. So when it comes to asset utilization, so we can see that the accounts receivable turnover decreased quite a bit. This is because of the financial ratios as well. So when it comes to the average collection period, we increase it with 50 days. This is good because we see that the money is being utilized properly when it comes to the assets. So this one, when it comes to stability liquidity ratio, Mainfreight shows capability on pay with their short-term liabilities. Mainly because with the current ratio, we can see how they measure the efficiency of the operation inside the company. So with the working capital, it increased as well. And with the debt to equity ratio, it is decreased like 1% or something like that. So when it comes to debt utilization ratio, it increases total asset and capability on pay interest of Mainfreight. So DuPont model, so it is a method of assessing a company's return on equity. So we break it into 3 parts. So we look at the financial leverage, asset turnover ratio, and then their net profit margin. This is like in the detailed manner on looking at the ROE of Mainfreight. So we see that it has a stable profit margin, and it has an increased assets and equity using financial leverage and well-planned utilization of its assets. So we are going to highlight the business highlights of Mainfreight, or how's the company performance of Mainfreight. So it has continuous interaction when it comes to customer. Why? Because Mainfreight is focused on how the customer will become loyal to them. So we have this contracts together with the other industry that is together with Mainfreight. We are increasing performance from 2017 to 2018. Our growth percentage sales is 12% every year. It is like 12.2, 12.5, 12.8. That's how it increased. And then there is a stable and reliable growth. Stable, mainly because of our customer is being loyal with us. And reliable because of the contracts that is allocated in each customer. So our shareholders' trustable investment, we look at how we can put importance with our investors as well, mainly because we're looking for NZX, which is corporate governance of Mainfreight that mainly protect the interest of our investors. So next one. These are the improvement reasons. This is our why. What are the main reasons why we need to invest in Mainfreight? Mainly because I already tell it to you. 12% from 2017 to 2018. Lowering operation costs because of our electric vehicles. Maximize use of assets because we are not afraid to use our assets at the moment because of the lowering of cost that we are because of the because of the help of electric vehicles that is with our operation cost and increase in market share. Inflation and deflation. These are the impact of inflation and deflation. So Mainfreight used to focus in the price fluctuation of oil. Inflation has a big impact of the main final expenses of Mainfreight. This is all about oil and fuel. And then deflation of fuel brings a large advantage of Mainfreight transport service and profitability of Mainfreight. Trend analysis. Trend analysis is how we look at 5 years trend of Mainfreight. It is a pattern of how it increased. As we can see, it has a consistent increase from 2014 to 2019. This is mainly because of the investment that is from shareholders from 2016. As of 2018, it is the best year because we had a 12% increase with our growth. And the increase with net profit after investment with 2016, we can see that by 2016, we started to invest with every factors inside the company, and we maximize the use of asset and reduce operational cost. So, forecasting and leverage.
Hi everyone. Now we're going to talk about forecast and leverage. So forecast leverage pretty much is how the company can do a forecast from the next year based on the previous year. So here Mainfreight used 2017 and 2018 to forecast the number of 2019. So the percentage of sales, as Pauline said, it was 12% between 2017 and 2018. And also using financial forecasts, we was able to identify the decrease of abnormal costs. What is abnormal costs? Abnormal costs is everything that the company couldn't control. So, for example, fluctuation of inflation or the price of the petrol or everything that the company couldn't control. And then we go for another thing when we use forecast leverage. We identify that a company can reduce each cost when they go with operations on each country. So for example, Mainfreight has operation in many countries around the world. For example, Asia, Australia, and then New Zealand. For all of those countries, Mainfreight are planning to replace the network with partnership companies from their own company. So instead of keeping using network companies like partnership companies, they want to create their own offices in each country. So it will bring to Mainfreight improvement on documentation process. It will bring increase. It will improve the efficiency on documentation process by Mainfreight, because with their own offices in each country, they don't need more translate documents or anything like this. They just can keep and use their own documentations, and then it will reduce the costs of operation costs. Also, reducing the network between other countries, between other companies, they will reduce the costs as well, because they don't need to share more the profits with those companies they're working with. So all the profit, all the money that the company receive will go straight to the Mainfreight. So they don't need to share anymore the profit with any other companies. Also, the break-even, using the forecast, we could identify the break-even point. Break-even point is how much money the company has to produce in order to cover their costs. So that's the break-even point. So for example, if you have $10 of something and the company produces $8, the break-even point is low. But however, if the company produces $12, for example, the break-even point is high. In this case, Mainfreight has a growth of 8% on the break-even point, which we analyzed this number from 2017 to 2018, when the break-even point of the company was 2,420,577. That was the break-even point. And the operation revenue of the company from 2017 and 2018 was 2,608,349,000 dollars. That's give us growth of 8% between 2017 and 2018. So now I'm gonna pass the floor from Pavan Pri.
So first one is the what is working capital, which amount needed to run day-to-day operations of a business, which is called working capital. Next one. Growth of the assets. In financial accounting, assets refers to tangible and intangible contribute to the success of the business. In 2018, current assets increased 60% as compared to 2017 because of the account receivables and cash on the bank. And next one is current liabilities are increased in 2018 as compared to 2017 by 11% because of the trade creditor which the company have. That's why the company's long-term liabilities are decreased, because the long-term liabilities are decreasing because of the bank loan are decreased minus 4.33%. Finance cost decreased in 2% in the year of 2018 as the compared of 2017 because the efficient management of their borrowing, which has helped to manage and increasing the assets. The integrated management, Mainfreight has used the integrated management techniques to control the financing cost. It helps to planning, estimating, controlling, and budgeting the financing cost of Mainfreight. The long-term contracts helps to managing the financing cost in Mainfreight. The net cash flow was increased in 2018 as compared to 2017 by 7% because of disclosing because the company of Mainfreight using the disclosing requirements.
By whom? Yeah. By whom? Come on, if you get that, you will get in a high mark.
Yeah.
The
To whom they
Mainfreight
will
do
disclose.
based on disclosing requirements, and this is the cash to cash cycle.
Yeah, by
Like
whom?
first one,
By and to.
that,
By whom and to whom?
like firstly we purchase things and warehousing, and then debtors.
Hmm?
By Mainfreight.
You know what, guys?
Customers.
We have the AMLA now, right? Anti-money laundering. Yeah. That is actually because Mainfreight business is overseas. I mean, moving from one place to another place. And if the value of your what do you call this? If the value of the services from one person or from one company is more than, you know what is the AMLA now? If you withdraw money more than 5,000, you will be required now to disclose who you are and where did you get the money.
So it's to
That's
the
the,
government.
yeah,
to,
correct.
To the government and to
It's
the
actually for
investors.
the AMLA authority. We have the AMLA authority. That's why it's very hard. Even you guys, students, when you say pay your tuition fee, well, it's good if you're on shore. There's no there is no actually AMLA or whatever, because especially if it's coming from your what do you call this, bank account, there's no AMLA issues. But if it overseas to here, they will check that. That's the one. Disclosure statement. They have to disclose well who the client is. Say for example, if I have cargoes more than 10,000 or 50,000 New Zealand dollars, I have a declaration that these are actually the usual business transactions of my company. Yeah, that's the disclosure. All right,
Go on, Julie.
go ahead.
And Mainfreight, the credit policies depend on the Mainfreight. The small claims are settled by the direct credit,
Yeah.
and sometimes they give the conditions of agreements.
Yeah.
If they have a long-term contracts, so they follow the conditions of the agreements, which is consignment notes. They decide to it's a directly paid or a monthly paid, and based on the account receivable collecting period, so they collect the payments of their clients within 50 days. The working capital is increased in 2018 by 23% as compared to 2017 because of the increase of account receivables and the increase of operating operations and sales.
Good afternoon, ma'am, and good afternoon to everyone. The capital structure. Capital structure refers to how the firm finances its operations. For the Mainfreight, after evaluation, there is an increase in the total debt and the total equity of the Mainfreight. Though, thus the difference between the total debt and the total equity is so high, indicating that the Mainfreight is using the both types of finances to manage their operations. It shows the risk for the Mainfreight to pay their borrowings. So they can manage to pay their borrowings because of they are getting the certain amounts of money from their customers because they have done the contracts with them, and this will increase the account receivable of the Mainfreight as well. Next one is the current market value. The current market value of the Mainfreight share is the 38.47 each. This is the assumption value of the Mainfreight in the market. So we have to analyze the real value of the Mainfreight market share. So we analyze the real value of the stock of Mainfreight by looking at the stakeholder equity and the difference between the share capital and the total equity of the Mainfreight, and it will give us the amount of $12.5 per unit. Next one is the debt to equity ratio decreases up to 6%. This is because this indicates that there is the increase in the debt and the equity. This is mainly depend upon which type of the business the company is doing. The Mainfreight is doing the service moving logistic business, so they don't have any upfront payment from the customers. That's why the debt to equity ratio decreases by 6%. As we come to the percentage growth of the Mainfreight, we have to look at the cash flow of the Mainfreight. Cash flow of the Mainfreight that they had get from 2017 to 2018, and this will show the 12% increase from 17 to 18. Next one is the cash balance for the 5 years. There is an increase in the cash balance for the 5 years that is in the $80,485 to the $842 in the 22. Next one is the projection shows an increase after using the trend analysis. It is possible that there is a projection from 2018 to 2022 of 57%. So they have the more cash, and it is easy to pay, so they might improve their operation to pay their debt. And next one is the risk. There are only two risks. The first one is the foreign exchange, and the next one is the liquidity. Foreign exchange, there is always a fluctuation in the foreign currency rate of the country. This is mainly about the economic stability of the country. It does not always remain same. It always changes. So it might be a risk for the Mainfreight. Next one is the liquidity. So this is the current obligation of the company to pay their borrowings. They need to continuously maintain their funding to pay their obligations like debt. But the investors need to consider about the enough cash inflow coming from the operating activities that can meet their obligations.
So with the recommendation and conclusion of the group to the investors, we look at the potential growth of 12% year after year. So this is a good opportunity for the investor to have. It will benefit the investors, guys. Because with the 12%, this is not just the potential, but it sees with the trend of the growth of Mainfreight. It has a pattern of 12% increase every year. So it's not just 12%. I look at it, it's like 12.8, 12.5. So we stay in that kind of growth. And because of the new assets of Mainfreight, it will benefit, and it might increase not just 12, but it might double up the increase of the sales of Mainfreight. So it has a strong brand name within the market, not just here in New Zealand, but it is all around the globe. It's not just, we are catering not just one industry, but most of the industry when it comes to chemicals, when it comes to big infrastructure industry that needs to have services from Mainfreight. So we are complying with different kinds of corporate governance that brings protection to the government, to the investors. And we as I can say, we have sustainable growth and look after the environment, which is a good opportunity for those people who's looking for like social responsibility and environmental responsibility benefit when they are about to invest. So this is how we conclude and recommend you guys to invest in Mainfreight. So thank you. And
Yeah.
ma'am, question.
Yeah, good.